Coming from TechCrunch. Public service announcement. Your Claude shared chats and artifacts may have ended up on Google. So I think this is an interesting story, basically around the concept of where does the AI company's responsibility end and where does the customer's responsibility begin? And do customers actually know where that particular line is, right? So basically, the TLDR with this is that for Claude, you're able to create shared chats. And basically, what happens is they will give you a public URL. So if you want to share a chat, you can create a public URL, and then you can then email that, message that, whatever, to anybody else who you want to be able to see that chat, and they can see what's going on, see what you've been talking to AI about. The issue is at that point in time, this becomes it's a publicly addressable URL. So if that link goes onto something like a message board or Facebook or something like that, then Google or any search engine could then end up indexing it, and then all of that information can then be searchable online. And basically, what people are complaining about is they're complaining about their personal conversations that are now ending up being basically indexed by Google. And Anthropic is turning around and saying, look, we told you people what's going on. The only way that you're indexed by Google is that if you publish these links publicly on the internet, ergo, it's not Anthropic's fault. I think this is kind of interesting because I was talking to my father yesterday. So my father is a PhD engineer. It is funny. It is funny, like talking about the modern world of technology to a PhD engineer that does not understand the modern world of technology. I remember when I was a kid, I'd be like 9 years old, and I would like open his books of like all these mathematical formulas, and then I would get a headache and shut those books. It's like, wow, my dad is smart. And now I'm like 50 having conversations with him about how to use the internet. And I'm like, ooh. Well, technology passes us all by. But what was interesting, why this is important, is he was complaining about this AI tool. So anyways, he's dealing with this company, and he was complaining about this AI tool and how this AI tool was failing. And I was like, how is this AI tool failing? And he's like, well, he has a number of these PDFs. And when he tries, so he's supposed to, I guess, email these PDFs into the AI tool, and then the AI tool processes them. And so the AI, basically what he's saying is that the AI tool can't handle the size of the PDFs. So the PDFs, for some reason, are really large. And the funny part was I was talking with him. I was like, Dad, feel free to bitch about AI all you want. Feel free to bitch about this company all you want, but that actually has nothing to do with AI. You have really large files. Those are really large files. And SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, basically how you send emails, most of the time there's a quota size on email size, so you can't send large files, right? And so the interesting thing there, and this is one of the things I want you to think about, is that he is having a real and actual problem with the system that has an artificial intelligence component, right? So the system is not working for him. But the important thing to understand is that's not the AI's failure. That's not the LLM's failure. That's not a neural network's failure. That's not a RAG failure. Nothing as far as what you would think of as the AI component is a failure. It all comes down to SMTP quotas. And again, I got to sit there for a couple minutes yesterday trying to explain this to my PhD father. So you have a PhD. It's an SMTP quota. How hard is this to understand? Anyways, and why I bring that up, think about this. I am having to have this discussion with somebody like my father. Imagine all the people in the world that are not as educated as my father. Again, he's an engineer. He's not a poet. He's not like a Renaissance painting PA. He's a fucking engineer, like building robots. Like that's what he did for his career, is building things to stop people from dying. When I was a kid, literally my dad's job during the 1980s was trying to figure out why robots killed people. He was literally flown out to factories where robots had killed people to try to figure out how to stop it. That was his job. And I'm explaining to him SMTP quotas, and he's having a little bit of a difficulty understanding what I'm talking about. And so what I want you to think about If somebody at that level has an issue with something that simple, think about all the normies out there. Think about the normies dealing with artificial intelligence. And again, this is where you have to be thinking about from a user interface, user experience perspective. Just because you can blame your users, is that necessarily a wise way to go? What they know is they use your system and their information became indexed on Google. You can talk about fucking public URLs all you want. You can talk about scraping all you want. You can just flap those fucking gums and nobody gives a shit. The prick ass Dario. Dario, blood money, SOB, wants to destroy the world, wants to take everybody's jobs, and look at this. He's sharing all of this information that I thought was going to be private, right? And anyways, the modern world of technology. So yeah, if we take a look at this, an untold number of Claude chats and artifacts, the interactive mini apps and documents users can build inside Claude, were found publicly searchable on Google over the weekend after Reddit users discovered that typing search operators like site:/Claude.ai share into Google surfaced a long list of shared conversations. Some reportedly contained health records, private company documents, and the names and phone numbers of children. The issue appears to have originated from Claude's Share Chat feature, which allows users to create links that enable anyone with the assigned URL to view a conversation or project. Quote, anyone with the link can view, warns the Claude's interface. The language clearly implies that the feature is mainly intended to allow users to share their chats with friends, colleagues, and small groups, not the whole internet. And this is where you have to be careful about where you say, where it's like, look, we told you what was going on. And then people didn't understand. People didn't understand. So yeah, this is where they show you can share a chat. You can create the public link, and then it creates a little public link for you here. Anthropic appeared to blame users for the exposure. When asked about what happened, the company told TechCrunch that share links only appear in search results when they've been posted somewhere search engines can see, like a forum or social media post. It added that a link sent privately to someone stays out of search. Spokeswoman Amy Rothenham added in an explainer that, quote, we give people control over sharing their Claude conversations publicly, and in keeping with our privacy principles, we do not share chats, directories, or sitemaps with search engines like Google. These shareable links are not guessable or discoverable unless people choose to share them themselves. When someone shares a conversation, they are making that content publicly accessible, and like other public web content, it may be archived by third-party services. And so, basically, they're explaining to you, well, you're wrong. This is why you are wrong. And you're like, okay. We're going to see how that works out. We are going to see how that works out for your company. Have you heard about public relations? You might want to learn about it. So yeah, I think we're going to start to see more and more of this out of the AI world, where a lot of the tools that have been created, again, we've seen this like with Codex, right? OpenAI, they're a piece of shit. Codex, agent system for building code, started deleting people's folders, files, and folders. And then when they were confronted by it deleting people's files and folders, the argument was like, oh, well, users should have backed it up. They should have understood what was going on. And they're like, yeah, but they didn't. Right? That's one of the things you hear out of big tech. Right? Big tech doesn't take responsibility for a good goddamn thing. Right? You think, right, these people are going to take responsibility for anything ever for any reason? No, it's always somebody else's fault. Right? And so I think the issue is we're going to start to see more and more of these types of problems. And if these AI companies don't deal with the issues appropriately, don't listen to the customers, then the customers are going to move on, and then they're going to think they're piece of shit products, right? Again, and that's one of the things to be thinking about designing, right? As I've talked about many times before, I have a video on it somewhere on this channel, right? You can be 100% right and 100% fired at the exact same time, right? Anthropic can be completely right about their argument, and people can be fed up with their shit and walk away anyway, right? OpenAI can be completely right about their argument with Codex, and people can be tired of their shit and walk the fuck away. Grok can be completely right. Grok was another one that was fucking around, but people can walk away. And I think that's one of the concerns for a lot of these AI companies is as we see that the value of these products simply is not what we've been told the value of the products is, how many people are going to start simply walking away from these products because it's not worth the extra level of aggravation. As I've talked about, and as many people have started to talk about, it does feel like artificial intelligence in 2026 is adding to workload, not decreasing it. Right, that's really, and I'm not even joking with that. Where it feels like so much of this AI stuff is it's adding to workload, it's adding to stress, it's adding to vulnerabilities, it's adding more crap onto user shoulders without actually providing the value we thought we were going to get out of it. So, anyways, what do you think about this? What do you think about your shared chats possibly ending up on Google? What do you think about that? Again, if your shared chats have things like public, health information and all that kind of stuff, what do you think about that showing up on Google? Put your thoughts down below. If you like these episodes, do remember they're on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. Link is down below. If you want to follow me on LinkedIn, there's a link down there too. With that, see y'all later.